Support the Black College Sports Network so we can continue to provide you coverage. Go to myjbn.com/support and be a part of the Black College Sports Network. This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Follow the Black College Sports Network on social media at MyBCSN1, the number 1, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MyBCSN1.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the Pregame. Brought to you by Chambers and Galen Law Firm with your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the Pregame.
And welcome to the pregame show here live from Mississippi Veterans Memorial Stadium. Charles Bishop, of course, with my partner Neely. It is another Sunsplash Sunday, a little Tiger football today, Neely. Looking forward to it. It should be fun, buddy.
Sunsplash, man, it's hot. It's hot, baby. Let me tell you this, Chuck, man. We're 2-0, but you have to appreciate that today is not only a SWAC game. It's a SWAC opponent from the state of Mississippi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a SWAC East opponent. Game has changed.
Game has changed, SWAC East opponent. And you know, as I know, we've grown up with Mississippi Valley State University. We know how tough today is going to be. This week has been the 50th anniversary of Ali and Frazier. Mississippi Valley, they come with that Frazier left hook. You know they're coming hard today.
Yeah, they're going to try to come in and make some noise. National televised audience. You know, we moved up from ESPN3 to ESPN2. So now it's on everybody's cable TV, not worried about streaming it. So, of course, Valley's going to come in and, you know, they spoiled a homecoming a couple of years ago for us. So they always play us tough. They're going to try to make some noise, but I believe the Tigers are ready.
Yeah, I believe the Tigers are ready. When we last saw them against Grambling State, huge program-changing victory. They went down, exit 81, down in the hole, got the win against Grambling and looked good in the process.
Looked excellent in the process. And I tell you this, our first guest of the day is always Coach O. And he was so prophetic.
Yes.
He was so prophetic.
Yes.
Let me tell you, when Coach O opens his church, man, I'm signing up. I'm getting rebaptized. I'm tithing because he comes in and he tells you what that team was looking like this week, how they prepared, and everything he said that was going to happen in Grambling happened.
Sure thing. I mean, you take a look at the stats. Jalen Jones had a tremendous day, 12 of 18.
Mm-hmm.
But they keep touching on it. They keep harping on it. He protected the football, and that's what this offense, the early DNA of this offense is to protect the football, matriculate it downfield, and look what happens. So.
And then you flip it over. The job of the defense is to take the ball away. And what sealed that game was down on the 2-yard line. Our defense was able to step up. 2 of our premier defensive players, a transfer coming in, a young man who's been here with us before. One causes a fumble, one picks it up, ball game.
Aubrey Miller, debut for the Tigers, 18 tackles, 10 solos, a forced fumble. I tell you what, so many Jackson State fans have talked about this part right here, Neely. He looked the part of a Jackson State linebacker.
He looked the part. He reminded me of those Connor guys from the 80s.
Kevin Collins, Dennis Connor, Darian Connor, Andre Lloyd.
Yes, sir. that whole list. He looked the part. Guys picks up some honors this week. He picked up the FCS National Defensive Player of the Week, the Boxer Road National Player of the Week. So that's what you want to look for. Coach Prime wanted to bring some dogs in, make some immediate impact. But we also can't forget about those guys like Keontae who've been here.
Yep.
One thing to cause a fumble, another thing to have a teammate be there, pick it up.
Yeah, it was a banner performance last week for Jackson State in terms of knocking off the Grambling State Tigers. It was one of those victories. You could tell not only the pride there on the field, but the alumni, the fan base. I tell you what, they were beaming after the game, and we talked about it, Neely, in terms of it in the post game, what this could mean for the program moving forward.
It means a huge deal for the program, man. We are now truly getting into the meat of this spring schedule. We got this SWAC East upon the deck. I hear the boom.
I hear the boom. I hear the boom.
It's time to get going.
Yep.
So this is a tone setter today. We got I think 4 home games left on the schedule. So man, we're gonna turn the vet out. It's a blackout today. I'm wearing a little black. Chuck has his red accent over there. Even hooked him up with the red beats. Like he's doing it, man. So we're going to have fun today. It's a little hot outside. It feels like one of those September games.
It does.
When it's still in the 80s. It gets sweaty out there. So we might get a little cramping up. We'll see. We'll see how the players hold up. But it's going to be a beautiful day for some Tiger football.
Conditioning will be important today. Like you said, it's pretty warm out there on the field. And looking forward to getting into it. I tell you what, man, we got some great sponsors, some great underwriters for this program. We will definitely want to mention those underwriters. We're going to take a quick break here on the Black College Sports Network, and we're going to bring Coach O in, and we're going to get a little insight into the Jackson State football.
Shout out those sponsors. Chambers and Gaylord Law Firm, our just premier sponsor. Wouldn't be here without them. Always Churchill Smoke Shop. We'll be going back there live. And we also got Reed Enterprises, and you can always find Reed Enterprises in the lobby of the King Edward Hotel, Hilton Garden Inn, on home game. And hey man, they sent Tiger Talks for stuff.
Oh, that's nice stuff.
Oh
nice
yeah,
stuff.
man, that's yours.
I'll
Chuck.
take it. I'll take it.
You will take that one. And
No doubt
this is
about it.
mine. And the way we're gonna be sweating when we do this outside segment, we're probably gonna change clothes today.
You better
Shout
believe
out
it.
to Reed Enterprises for the gear. And we love spotlighting businesses, particularly SWAC-owned, Black-owned, Jackson State-owned business. That's what it's about, man.
That's what it's about. We'll take a quick break here on the Black College Sports Network, and we'll come back with Coach O.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, motivation.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people
And welcome back to the pregame show. Charles Bishop, of course, Neely, my partner, here with me. Also, we have with us Coach Otis Ridley. He is Director of Player Personnel and Recruitment. He always brings it hot and heavy. Coach O, welcome back to the pregame show.
Hey, as always, appreciate you guys having me.
Coach, you set the tone last week in terms of Jackson State versus Grambling, and you said from the onset, we have to go out and we have to go be physical. We have to make a mark. And I tell you what, Jackson State was flying around all over the place last week. They really look good, really look like those Jackson State games of old.
No doubt. The guys did a great job preparing all week. And when you prepare the way they did, you give yourself a chance to be successful on game day.
Mississippi Valley State, they come into this game having not played a game as of yet, but we always know Mississippi Valley State gives Jackson State everything they have and then some. What have you seen thus far from Mississippi Valley State?
Well, like you guys led in with, they're going to always be ready to play us tough. They'll be physical. They're going to make sure they give us 4 quarters of fight. What we have to make sure we do is take care of Jackson State, do our job from the very outset, just the small details, making sure that we're tackling well, we're finishing with the ball in our arms, we're catching the ball, and we're finishing blocks. So if we do those things, you're talking about building a championship program. And that's how you move to that.
When you're talking about building a championship program, you mentioned the little things, tackling, making the catch, making the run after. Those things, and Coach Prime, he's talked about this, instilling all of that within the practice format. You got to show up during practice, then you get to show out on game day.
And no doubt, if you don't prepare for it, it ain't going to happen. You know, you don't, LeBron or Michael Jordan don't show up to the gym without shooting 1,000 shots every day. And so these guys do a great job of just doing what the coaches ask them to do, focus on the details, and finish.
Finish. Last week, you set the tone. Physical.
No doubt.
That is what Jackson State had to be. Today, still want to bring that same physical mindset in, but what are the other things that we need to do today to get this victory against Mississippi Valley?
I said it a minute ago, details. When you focus on an opponent that may be of lesser talent than you, you got to make sure you're doing your part, not playing down to the opponent, but making sure the status has already been set.
Mm-hmm.
The quota has already been set. You make sure you do your part to make sure we can get this W.
Last week, Tyson Alexander, Kemo Clark, they did what they needed to do against Grambling. You're talking about a 1-2 punch that really gave Grambling fits. But talk a little bit about that physical run game. Offensive line really did work last week.
No doubt, man. Those guys up front been churning. Coach Markson does a great job with them. And the biggest thing, they have chemistry. And when you have chemistry with those 5 guys up front, you can do a lot of things to us. But as long as we're on the same page, we can make things happen. And with those running backs, both of them are dynamic in their own right. But the biggest thing with us is making sure those guys finish with the ball in their hands. We don't want anything to happen where we put the ball in the referee's hands and where he can make a call to affect us. So finish with the ball in your hands, give it back to the referee, and we're going to make sure we get us another 200 today.
That's something I think everybody has talked about in these first couple of games with Jackson State, the discipline that's been instilled in the team. It really looks impressive out there on the field.
Well, like I said, Coach Pryor, man, he sets the culture, and we don't let off of it. As coaches, we're going to make sure we do everything to make him look good, make this program look good, and hold our players' feet to the fire. And that accountability is not only coming from the coaches, but it's coming from player to player. And so when you have that, you got a recipe for success.
No doubt about it, Coach O. You always bring it hot and heavy here on the pregame show. We really appreciate every time you stop by. You set the tone for the day, and that's why we have you at the beginning of the show in terms of what needs to be done.
Hey, we're excited, man. As always, if you're not in the stadium, you need to figure out how to get in the stadium, because the atmosphere outside these walls, I don't know if you heard the boom marching in, but I got hair standing up on my skin again. I'm telling you, man. So I'm ready to get out here, ready to see these boys play, and I promise you it's going to be a show today.
No doubt about it, Coach. We're going to let you get out of here and get to the press box. Coach Otis Ridley, he always sets the tone for us here on the pregame show. And I tell you what, again, he does it again today. When we come back from these commercial break, we will have another guest here on the pregame show. It's Charles Bishop. It's Neely. It's the pregame.
Another sad day in America. Painful to be introduced to George Floyd during his last breath with the cop's knee on his neck. He deserves so much more.
How many black lives have to be taken before something is done?
We are not a threat.
I am shaking as I type. This has got to stop.
We are sick of it.
We need conviction. I just want us all to live. Death will not stop until the powers that be are finally held accountable.
Don't look away from the truth until every one of us are free from white supremacy.
The world stands with you.
Criminalizing and killing of black and brown bodies is not new. It's as old as America. It's just getting filmed more.
Do you know what it feels like to be hunted? To have a new hashtag for a dead black person every single day? How does one plan a life if they aren't sure they will have a life to plan?
Trayvon Armstrong, Deborah Dance,
Megan Clay,
Michelle Lee
George Floyd. His name was George Floyd. Say his name. Say his name.
George Floyd. Say his name.
Say their names. Once again, and always, we fight for justice. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Rest in power, beautiful. You didn't deserve this.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Chuck, we back?
We're back. We're back live. Welcome back to the pregame show. Charles Bishop and Neely. As every week, we have some great guests that stop by with us here on the pregame show. Neely, man.
Let me tell you this, man. We had Troy Aikman on.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion. We've had Roy Williams on. Had several NFL guys, but they don't have 2 million followers. They're not from Philly.
How about that?
Man, Philly is in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yes, he is. Yes, we is.
Gilly and Wallow, our own Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, the pregame show. Fellas, welcome to Jackson.
Man, I'm happy, man. I went out last night. Went to this little club. That was nice.
He being modest, y'all. I bumped into him at Johnny T's.
Johnny
T's. I'm going back tonight.
Johnny T's was before the club.
Okay.
Johnny
I'm going
T's.
back tonight.
Them got them shrimp and some DMs.
Yeah, I'm going back tonight. I'm going back tonight.
Yeah, man. Matter of fact, for the Southern game in a couple of weeks, we're gonna be live from Johnny T's. Good brother, a good spot,
good food,
man.
Great
historic building.
Yeah,
historic building. All those entertainers you saw on the wall have literally performed there.
Yeah, great atmosphere. So, man, what brings y'all to Jackson? As if I didn't know.
Prime Brothers out here. You know, we come out to support JSU, everything we got going on, just to see what it's developing to is everything. You know what I'm saying? Sure. You know, you talking about one of the greatest athletes in the history of life. Came to Jackson and said, we're going to do something extraordinary. And you see him materializing what the whole vision was. He's materializing the vision, the dream. So we got to support that, you know, no doubt about it. I mean, we got to support that.
Good deal. So rewind to September, or maybe before, because you guys in the loop, y'all real good friends with Coach Brian. When you heard that this was going to happen, and he was going to HBCU, going to Jackson, Mississippi, what hit you?
I mean, we had kind of knew before, because we talked to Prime all the time. You know, he was like, I'm thinking about taking a job down at Jackson State, you know what I'm saying? It's looking like it's going to. So we had knew.
Wow, way before.
Way before, you know what I mean? So when it just happened, it was like, okay, cool. And then he come out here and he do everything he say he's going to do, from the, you know, from getting the field fixed up to getting the, you know, the sponsorships, to getting multiple helmets and uniforms, to everything that he said he was going to do for the program. Done. So for us, it's a no-brainer to support anything that you got going on, because you doing your part.
Sure.
Is this your first trip to Jackson?
Yes.
Okay. Have you enjoyed?
Yeah,
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
People are very, what is it, Southern hospitality.
It's real.
It's real.
Yes, that's real.
And man, we're real big on Black entrepreneurship. I know that's something that's dear to y'all hearts, man. We always try to spotlight that on the show to give businesses a platform so we can continue to recycle those dollars and investments. And I know you guys, I mean, your shirt, man, you know, it's just the process. You know, so talk to us about the importance of entrepreneurship and entertainment and sports and how you marry that brand.
I mean, before I want to give a shout out to Johnny T.
Gotta give a shout out to Johnny T.
You know, and I want to give a shout out to Chill Will, man, the guy I met last night that owns a liquor store.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know no black liquor store owners, like, you know what I mean? So that was kind of incredible to me, like, because that's something that's going to be around forever. Like, you can pass that down to your kids, and they can pass that down to their kids, and they can, because that's something that's going to be around forever. So that was just super impressive to me that a black man in Jackson, Mississippi owns a liquor store. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. You nearly touched on it, the marriage of sports and entertainment. What's your take in terms of melding the two worlds together? And we see it manifest itself here in terms of Coach Prime and Jackson State, and now we have this entity that's going on.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's going to give attention to a lot of people. Everybody win. Community win. Players win. Everybody associated with it win. Because it's bringing, like, for instance, they're on the big stage today, ESPN. Like, come on, how do you do that? You know, so you're bringing so much attention to people's lives. You're bringing more business to the town because more people want to come and see you on the outside. So now that's fueling up the economy here. There's so many benefits when you merge that sports and entertainment together, because people love celebrity. They love the whole thing. At the end of the day, people love winners.
Yeah.
JSU was winning. They looking like they got a bright future. So it's going to bring what it didn't have here, which is going to benefit so many different people. You know, so that's what it's really about. No doubt.
Man, I know it's y'all want to get back out there and see that film.
No, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Take a look at the J6. Yeah. Get that swag energy, man. You know, we're playing a swag opponent, in-state rival, swag east. So this is a big game for Coach Brian.
Yes.
So, man, appreciate y'all stopping by.
We had to.
Pregame. Man, welcome again to Jackson. You know we're going to see y'all back.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Much love, man. Appreciate all the things y'all doing out there. You know, we follow y'all, we support y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with us.
Appreciate y'all.
So y'all come back.
Absolutely. But I'm getting some Johnny T's again in there. More than that. Y'all, I got it. After this game, I'm sliding back over.
No doubt.
Love.
No doubt.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All good, man. Yes, sir.
It's Neely. It's Charles Bishop here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be right back after these matches.
The Creole seasoning is a sodium-free and sugar-free blend that's versatile enough to put on anything. One of the first blends I developed more than 8 years ago, the Creole seasoning has an unmistakable aroma, a bold flavor, and a little heat for character. Every time I open one of these bottles, I hear trumpets and big band music.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Because the fight isn't over yet.
You will see me choose to protect my community by wearing a face cover.
And even with my face covered,
you will see me.
As a son.
As a man with a never quit attitude.
As a fighter for change.
Join me in wearing a face cover.
To help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
Because this is one small act of kindness
that has the power to make a big difference.
Follow the Black College Sports Network on social media at MyBCSN1, the number 1, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MyBCSN1.
The Creole seasoning is...
And welcome back to the pregame show. Charles Bishop and Neely. We're almost about 30 minutes here from kickoff here live from Mississippi Veterans Memorial. Our next guest, no stranger to the program, no stranger to the 1400 Club, head women's basketball coach, SWAC champion, Tamika Reed. Welcome in to the pregame show.
And on the bus, look at her. I tell you what.
Hey, y'all. How are y'all?
Coach.
Doing well, Coach.
Coach.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I got to tell you now, I held it together when I saw your tears, but when I saw you and your son's tears, I started cutting some onions. I had to.
I know, it was such an amazing feeling, y'all. I can't even really explain it. You know, at that moment, the time is winding down. You just see the ball going back and forth, hitting the rim. You know, we don't want to foul. So it was just, and I didn't even know the game was over because we held the ball and just kind of watched. Like, okay, what's next? We thought they were going to foul us, but it was, I mean, they stopped. They didn't try to go for that last foul. So they just stopped. So it was just such a surprise and so a lot of excitement and a lot of emotions at once.
Coach, I mean, stars on the team, Williams, Rogan. Yesterday, you had another person emerge, Sherelle Jones, in the championship game. Talk about her performance and those clutch free throws late.
You know, it was set up really good for her. Normally, she doesn't have really good games where she's shooting well from the free throw line. But in that particular game, she went 7 for 9 from the free throw line. And I mean, we were just so impressed with how locked in and focused she was for us. And when I called a timeout after she was fouled, I just kind of watched her. You know, she just kind of stared at me. She didn't talk the entire time. And so we just kind of looked over her and we just kind of talked about, okay, y'all, we are fine. We gave her the game plan. If we didn't score, what we need to do next. And, you know, our point guard, Janiyah, looked at her and said, oh, man, you good, let's go. And she went to the free throw line, knocked them down. It was a huge moment for her, a huge moment for us. She ran to me after she made the free throws and she was having a panic attack. She said, Coach, please take me out. She put everything she had in her, y'all, into those free throws. And she had nothing left for those last few seconds because she was such in a big shock of what we were going through. So I'm just so proud of her that she was able to do that. Do y'all know how much pressure that is?
A lot of pressure. The pressure of the world. You know, people grow up in their backyards, reliving those situations, you know, counting down the shot clock and shooting, standing at the line, got to make this a win. But to actually be there and do it, SWAC championship, nationally televised game, And Coach, you and I have talked about her past couple of years, the development of her game and the way your coaching staff has worked with her. She came here at one level, kind of in a shell, has blossomed and broke out of that shell. And it was phenomenal to see her be the one to nail those free throws.
And, she's always been a great player.
Mm-hmm.
When we recruited her from Northeast Mississippi Community College, she was just phenomenal there. She's a great rebounder. She averaged a double-double a game. And then when she came, her role changed a little bit, playing behind Marnisha Haber. But I always knew she was a good player. And so I will always tell her on last year, your time is coming. Your time is coming. Just hang in here. And sure enough, she got an opportunity this year. I thought she's been playing extremely well. When Alexis went out, Alexis is really key for us.
Yeah.
When Alexis went out, she stepped up to the table in terms of rebounding the ball. She shot that short jump shot, even though she didn't make it. And we told her, we have to be really good at this 4th spot. And so I thought she was that for us on yesterday.
No doubt about it. Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Reed, you gave us a lot of chill bumps yesterday. Quite a few of us, Neely, he's being bashful. He shed tears. I did too.
But Chuck, I know you're a wrestling fan. So I'm going to age myself here. No matter how the match was going, when Jerry Lawler took that strap down, it went to another level. Did y'all see when Coach Reed took her jacket off? I'm watching the national TV game and Coach Reed took that jacket off. I was like, we winning. He took the jacket off. Sun's out, guns out.
Yeah, I tried to come out of it before, and Coach Bradley put it back on me. And he's like, "We good, Coach. We good. Don't come on the jacket. We good." And by the next time, I was drenched in sweat. I said, "Listen, I don't care what I look like. We got to win the championship. I'm coming out this jacket, and we gonna get it done." So that's what it boiled down to. Alabama State played a very physical game. One of the players, almost knocked me off the court, and I told the official, I got upset. It was physical. It's a lot of smack talking, a lot of pushing, a lot of fighting, diving for the ball. I thought we were playing football at one moment, but I told our girls, be classy, but be tough. Be classy and tough. Don't let nobody run over you. And we're not scared. We've been here before. And so, I thought they did a great job, stepping to that task. No doubt about it. Coach Reed, a hearty congratulations. You made us proud over here. We look forward to the selection show to see where our Lady Tigers are going. Thank you for all that you've done for Jackson State University. You brought us another ring. Awesome. Thank y'all. I want to show y'all something before I go.
All right.
There it is. There it is.
And I see that it's not in the seatbelt. We got the net hanging over it though.
We got the net hanging. We got it tied down in there though. It's tighty. Can
you hold it up so I can kiss it?
I'll take it to. There you go. Uh-oh, I think you gave that kiss to me.
That's okay. We'll talk off air.
Thank you, Coach Reed.
All right, thank y'all.
All right.
No doubt.
Have a good one. Okay,
you too.
Bye-bye.
Well, Neely, man, we add another ring to the coffers here, and tell you what, an exciting game yesterday from Birmingham, championship 152.
I was about to say 152.
152.
152.
152. It's Neely. It's Charles Bishop here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be right back after these messages.
But you stay on hard.
is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Q Time is a classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
Support the Black College Sports Network so we can continue to provide you coverage. Go to myjbn.com/support and be a part of the Black College Sports Network.
The Creole seasoning is a sodium-free and sugar-free blend that's versatile enough to put on anything. One of the first blends I developed more than 8 years ago, the Creole seasoning has an unmistakable aroma, a bold flavor, and a little heat for character. Every time I open one of these bottles, I hear trumpets and big band music.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
And welcome back to the preview show presented to you by the 1400 Club, as well as our tremendous sponsors, Neely. Tell you what, man, they've done a tremendous job in terms of supporting us, and we want to thank them.
They have, man. Chambers and Gaylord Law Firm. You'll see their name on the screen. Churchill Smoke Shop has already stepped up. Latest sponsor, Reed Enterprises. All the gear you want. Chuck is wearing some Reed Enterprises right now. You can find him on home game days in the lobby of the King Edward Hilton Garden. Appreciate them. Anyone who wants to be a part of this partnership, just give us a call.
No doubt about it.
Slide in the DM.
Slide the DM. Well, we want to welcome to the pregame show Jerome Blake. He is the longtime PA voice of the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils, and you've also heard his voice amongst a lot of SWAC championships. Jerome, welcome into the preview show.
I appreciate you.
Well, talk to us. No doubt, talk to us a little bit about this Mississippi Valley State team. We've yet to see them on the field thus far this year, some COVID protocol issues, but we finally get a chance to see them today. Talk to us a little bit about them.
Well, to be honest with you, they'll display some talent that hadn't been seen in recent years, especially at the quarterback position. Jalili Eason is going to be a treat to see, the Division I transfer from Portland State. And he is a dual threat. He's a dual threat quarterback. And, of course, all of the information that we had gotten on him when he was being recruited, that he can cause defenses a lot of problems.
Sure.
And, of course, now he has a bunch of speedy wide receivers that, I mean, they're not very tall, but they got blazing speed. And this has been, Charles, since I talked to you last, I found this out. That they have, they're gonna have a swarm of talent now. How it's being put together, how it's gonna react as a chemistry, how it's gonna do, especially in the first game of playing together, I don't know. But I can say this: when I had made the statement that Coach Dan and his staff had did an excellent job of working hard, believe me, they have put. They put a package together, but now to give you how tough, how mean, how hard-spirited, well, that remains to be seen. You can do this at practice, but you know what the other color does? When you finally see the other color, it brings out that either beast or it brings out that other bunny. So you
No
never
doubt.
can tell.
Jerome,
And then the bunny being your arch rival.
you came on the podcast and you talked about the DNA of the Mississippi Valley State football team was to beat Jackson State. They always give Jackson State supreme fits. When we last played Mississippi Valley, it took a Herculean effort for Jackson State to get the win. But you talk a little bit about just the DNA of Mississippi Valley to try to beat Jackson State.
Well, to be honest with you, I think, and it sounds kind of crazy to hear one say this, but I think that those games where Jackson would beat Valley anywhere from 20 to 30 points, I think those losses can be taken well, far better than the ones that have, like just the other year. They beat them, last time they played, Jackson beat them 3 points.
Yeah.
It was an overtime game. They have this locked-in spirit. They really do. I mean, especially the fans there. Everything is basically upon beating Jackson State. And, of course, now I told you back some years when Cummings came from Jackson and got the job at Valley, he destroyed a sign that they had. And you walk into their locker room and it's on a glass-plated window. They beat Jackson State. And he said, no, we can't do that. Now, Dan is following in the same footsteps. Him being a Jackson man himself, he even says, no, we can't go with that. We can't go with that as a team. Now, you leave that to the fans. You leave that to them. But right now, we have to concentrate on SWAC championships. We have to concentrate on first building our program. And then SWAC championships and Celebration Bowl. These are our goals. Now, Jackson State, I mean, hey, they ain't just another game, and we know that they ain't just another game. But we cannot rely on it being our season. You got a lot of kids who have been taught over the years that all you got to do, you have some coaches who will come there, and you've had alumni jokingly, but heartfelt, hey, I don't care what you do. You be Jackson in Alcorn.
No doubt about it.
And your job is safe.
Jerome, as always, you give us such great insight into Mississippi Valley State football. You came on the podcast. We thank you for coming on the pregame show here with Charles Bishop and Neely. And tremendous luck and success to Mississippi Valley State, except for today. But we really do thank you for coming on the pregame show.
Well, I'm gonna be a little bit more classy than that, and I'm gonna say this, if you'll allow me to congratulate the Lady Tigers of Jackson State for winning the SWAC Women's Basketball Championship, and also Texas Southern Men for winning the men's side. Congratulations go out to both of them, and of course, we got to build back into that rim again.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. Well, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Okay, Tom.
All righty.
And there you have it, Jerome Blake, the longtime PA voice of the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils. We'll be right back after these messages. We'll bring on another guest. We're about 15 minutes from kickoff.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell them mama hungry.
And we are back with the pregame. You know, Chuck, we are about 13 minutes to ESPN2 going live.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we're here in the media room. That's the field house, right in the south end zone. But we got the eye in the sky. DJ Unpredictable is up in the DJ booth. Unpredictable, welcome to the pregame show. How you making, brother?
Hey man, listen, it is the Lord's Day. You know what I mean? I'm up here. Hey, listen, let me see if I can let y'all see what I see. Can I turn my camera around? I don't know, man. Yes, I can. Oh, look at that. The eye of the sky. We looking good. We looking good. We looking good. We looking good.
So DJ Unpredictable. Let me ask you this, man. You know, you are the game day DJ, but you were a drum major in the Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
And this was the first week that the Boom got to march in. What did it look like from the press box? What did you see?
Man, listen, it was an exciting sight. That's all I can say, man. The fans heard the band coming way from the parking lot. People started standing on their feet. Pom-poms was shaking. And when, you know, the beat dropped, the rest is history, baby.
No doubt. Karabu, you are the game day DJ. You think you got the crowd pumped up, buddy?
Man, listen, they are ready. Shout out to our athletic director, Ashley Robinson, said, you know what? Let's go ahead and let 22,500 come on in here and see this thing today. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to get there. So the fans are excited about this thing. The teams have already did their pregame warm-up. The band is in, situated and set. Everything is in place here at Mississippi Veterans Memorial Tiger Stadium. And all we need is y'all to cheer us on, baby.
Hey, so, Crumble, let me talk to you about this because you mentioned pregame. Providing that music while the Tigers warm up and seeing how excited they get from your song selection. Have you found a particular song that really gets them going?
Yeah, anything is ratchet.
Welcome to the dirty South.
That's it.
Ratchet.
Listen, if it ain't ratchet, don't play it, man, because this team is fired up. They got that high energy. So I got to come with that stuff they want to hear in the nightclubs. You know, wherever the student body be, that's what they want to hear. So that's what I'm going to give it to them.
Now, speaking of student body, there's a different cordoning off of the stadium day where you have student sections. Are you seeing some energy from those student sections?
Yeah, the student section is filling up quickly. And I'll tell you what, we got some of the smartest kids in the world. They are following our COVID guidelines by skipping a row. So they look good over there, man. They fired up. They're ready. The pom-poms are ready. They're by the famous Sonic Boom in the South. It's time to kick this thing off and have some fun and handle business today.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, you make sure you stay around because you don't have a choice. You're the game day DJ. But we certainly want to get some feedback from you post-game.
Absolutely, man. Go Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club.
And go Tigers.
Go Tigers. There you have it. Karam McCunna. He is DJ Unpredictable. We'll be right back after these messages.
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
Support the Black College Sports Network so we can continue to provide you coverage. Go to myjbn.com/support and be a part of the Black College Sports Network.
And welcome back to the pregame show. Charles Bishop and Neely. Special guest coming in right now. He is the Dean of HBCU Sports. He is Dr. Kenyatta Cavill, host of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Welcome in, Doc.
It's good to be here, man. Y'all looking like y'all having some fun.
Oh yeah, it's Tiger game day. The crowd is filling in, and we're looking forward to some football. You know, Doc, I wanted to start by asking you. We've had a 2 good weekends of football. What have you seen thus far from teams around the SWAC? Because it's still a little bit too early for some data points.
Yeah, it's really hard for the data points. I think biggest thing that you're seeing is just the competitiveness of the games, which is a good thing when you're talking about fandoms, taking it off the field a little bit, and the interest that drives the fandoms. We hear this at the highest level at the NFL when they really want to look at trying to replicate the ability to create an episode where you have all these competitive games any given Sunday. Where you're starting to see that now in terms of the SWAC. Any given Friday, any given Saturday, any given Sunday, you don't quite know what's going on. And so early, we'll start to see things maybe shift out with some teams start to rise. As they say, the cream starts to rise to the top.
Sure thing.
You know, Chuck, I shared with you earlier today that in HBCU culture, and the D in HBCU is Black, so in Black culture, Dean is somebody important to us.
Very much so.
You know, you have college presidents, you have provosts, chief of staff. Well, somebody says that's the dean talking, or here comes the dean.
Yeah.
And I know we're fraternity guys, even you have dean of pledges. You know? So to have the dean of HBCU sports join us on the pregame show, Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. Shout out to them and the 1400 Club, making all this happen. You know, Dean, I gotta ask you. When you take a step back, and you know, Chuck was asking you about this spring schedule and the lack of data points with it being so early. But when you look at the commissioner's role in providing this spring season, the competitiveness of it, what direction is HBCU sports, particularly football, headed into, even during the pandemic? Are we flat? Are we rising? Are we headed down? Where do you see the landscape?
I think in general, HBCU sports at all levels is heading in an upward trajectory. You know, as we'd say in the marketplace, you're talking about bulls up. Things are really looking good in terms of what you're seeing from that perspective. So that's a good thing. Specifically for the SWAC, I'm not sure if you can get higher markers than this. I mean, everything is trending in such a positive direction. 100 years, the expansion for the conference, 2 solid programs, 1 legendary brand that's coming in here, split into divisions. All the things are putting things in a strong and positive perspective, and it's good.
You know, Doc, you had a very interesting take in regards to this game being moved from ESPN3 to ESPN2. But could you talk about the importance of this game or games potentially moving to a different platform?
Yeah, it's extremely important. You know, you have multiple levels. You have the ESPN Plus, which is a package essentially where the individual pays to see content on that level. Institutions will pay to be on that level because they have the connection and the brand associated with ESPN. You have ESPN3, which is essentially the streaming platform arm of ESPN. And a lot of people don't realize that that's where the marketplace is moving to. So it's solid. They're still trying to figure out how do they do costing frameworks of that in terms of promotional stuff. You see that right here with the Smoke Shop in terms of what you all are able to do. That's significant and important. But linear TV is that ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN obviously are platforms where the more people you get to see what's going on those stations. So to see the transition is extremely important. One quick point. Most of the other FCS programs, at best, they're on ESPN Plus. So the fact that SWAC is on ESPN3 is significant in the marketplace. The fact that you're getting flex games to ESPN2 is significant. And yes, a lot of this goes to the credit of Ashley Robinson, Jackson State University, just to be upfront with you in regards to the brand that it brings. And then you match it, as we said very early, with the brand of Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, the Hall of Fame. And he's shifting the tide of what that means. And what I don't believe other people understand is the fact that while you may have your frustrations with Jackson State because they're in the limelight of Coach Prime and you're trying to question how much he really is about the business of this, the importance of the stand, it's similar if you had like Tiger Woods in the PGA, right? Tiger Woods was getting it done. He moves the needle. Now, other folks are going to beat Tiger Woods, right? Every once in a while, he may do it, but the pay raise and the inflection point and the media points all rise because of when Tiger Woods comes into play. That doesn't matter whether he's playing well or not. Sure. He is what he is because of the brand that he's built before that. And the rest will come. Now, when Tiger is winning and he's at his prime, it really goes up. So if Coach Prime and Jack State continue to move, yes, it moves the needle. But everybody else is going to get some of that shine because they're playing with them.
Yes, sir.
Jackson State, they accepted that.
Can I leave this in here?
Valley is there.
No, y'all get out of here?
It's significant. It's significant.
No doubt. No doubt.
Makes perfect sense. A rising tide lifts all boats. You good, Gilly? Rising tide lifts all boats. And to see that energy that he's bringing, Coach Prime is bringing, moving throughout the SWAC and HBCU. I have this question for you, Doc, Dean, before we get ready to get out of here. Where do we go from here? Is the next step ESPN, the major platform, ABC, Saturday night game? Like, where do we move the needle to after this?
I think all those things can play. We just have to continue to do our part. We need the interest. I mean, I think one of the biggest talks yesterday was Prairie View and Grambling, the fact that game was not on television. You know, it was a promoter, but the promoter took a big hit that everybody's recognized the value of television. So I think we continue to do that. You continue to see Charles move forward with negotiating that contract there. The other thing is making sure that we have these subsidiaries with what you're doing, 1876 Sports and Culture, what we're doing sports inside the HBCU Sports Lab, AD and Brian and Drew with Sports Rap, HBCU Game Day. Those feature components are rising and it's all interconnected and extremely important. So the last thing I would say is the fact that now it's about the broadcast quality, the quality and more quality across the board, not just in football and multiple sports. And talking to the commissioner, Dr. Charles McCullen, it's my understanding that he's doing that as we speak.
No doubt. Dr. Cavill, you always give us such a tremendous viewpoint of the Southwestern Athletic Conference of HBCUs in general. Thank you, as always, for giving us your time and coming on the pregame show here with 1400 Club.
We salute you, Dean. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Well,
great
Neely,
work.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
We heard the iconic get ready. The team has run out. It was 2:00. It's time for kickoff.
Yeah, I heard the prayer.
Yes.
Always count on the prayer with words like the Lord. So I can hear that going on. So we're about ready to kick off. I know the game has not quite started on ESPN2, so we got a couple minutes, Chuck. Predictions.
I like the way our offense is looking right now. Jalen Jones is protecting the football. We're running the football. Coach O mentioned being physical. I expect us to do very well. We're averaging somewhere in the 30 points category. I think we'll do it again today, and I think that defense will step up again today. Valley's first game, I want to see us create a couple of turnovers today.
Well, you mentioned that offense, and we did a pre-production meeting with co-offensive coordinator Michael
Pollock. Yeah.
And he mentioned some points of emphasis to us. He said that, look, guys, the third quarter is the only quarter we've lost this year. We won the games, but we're flat in the third. So he wants to look at being a little more aggressive, a little less complacent. So I think that with him telling us, going out his way to tell us that he and Coach Phillips and Coach Prime sat down and they made the third quarter a point of emphasis, that we're going to try to score every possession and try to do what we can to play Tiger football for 4 full quarters. I'm looking to see if that translates this week.
No doubt about it. Coach Michael Pollock giving us some great insight. It is 2:02. It is Neely. It is Bishop. It is the Black College Sports Network. Our sponsors have been great to us again. Chambers and Gaylor Law Firm, the Project Architect, Amber Slaughter, Reed Enterprises. We thank you all for underwriting another episode of the pregame show. We'll see you at halftime, everybody here. It's halftime. Charles Bishop, Neely, Black College Sports Network. We'll see you, everybody.